वार्ता करने पर मुख्य लाइब्रेरियन आईआईटी गांधीनगर मिस्टर टीएस कुंबर और गुजरात के केंद्रीय विश्वविद्यालय के पूर्व प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर रश्मि टी कुंबर जी के साथ एक भेंट वार्ता। और इस कार्यक्रम को संचालन करेंगी बम्बूसा लाइब्रेरी तेजू से मिस शिवानी पुल एवं मिस बेथम माराई।
Hello listeners, welcome again to the special Yuva Vani program at All India Radio Teju. We are Siwani Pul and Bethem Marai from Bambusa Library as your hosts for today. We are excited to have two great librarians, Dr. T.S. Kumbar and Dr. Rashmi Kumbar from Gandhinagar, Gujarat, both of them who have dedicated their lives to helping students through libraries and education. This is episode 2.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for enlightening us again on this, because we have been volunteering with library movement since from a decade, like more than 14 years since we are 16. So we were never able to tell publicly about why this is important. We were doing social services and voluntary doing because we are not from this background, but still we have been working on this, promoting without knowing that how it is impactful, because it had impacted our life. We coming from farmer generation and also first generation, and it was challenging, but it was the Uncle Moosa and library which has holded our hands. So it has very inspired us in not a professional basis, but it has inspired us in many senses. True. So that's why we have been trying to tell people that our community especially, that why it is important, why you should come down to library. True. So thank you so much.
You're doing such noble work. We really appreciate that, and really we would like to extend all possible help possible for the library movement. Okay.
Very great.
Yeah, in this part of system, I think you're all doing a great work. You're reaching out to the people who are unreached, and also these are the areas where not much of development is happening, but I think under the different circumstances, you are all committing yourself in terms of the time and effort and helping the cause of reading by setting up the library, and also spending time to promote reading, right, without any compensation. This is something that is laudable contribution.
Thank you so much, sir. It means a lot. And I think, Siwani, if I'm not wrong, this is our first time having librarian professors.
Yes.
Interviewing them, literally like 40 years of library movement, and it's us working for 1 decade voluntarily. This is our first time interviewing. It feels like we are on the right track. Now I feel like this is why
honored.
You have stressed the importance of libraries and like collaborating with teachers and students, how important it is. It has made me realize that where I can help the teachers as well, and then students also. We are very grateful.
We are enlightened by your informations and your professionalism knowledge.
Yes.
We were running that path, but we were just blurred out. That we feel that way. Uncle has a vision, but sometimes we are not from that background. It becomes blurry sometimes. So two professors sitting here, it made it clear that we are on the right track. Thank you so much.
I'm glad we could contribute.
Actually, there is a saying, this is American Librarians Association says, librarians and libraries change lives. Okay, that's very, very meaningful phrase. And we do work towards that, and you are all doing towards that. Yeah.
My question to you, sir. Everybody says that mobile and internet are great distraction for learning. How can we make these tools as a learning for as educational learning for students?
Okay, mobile is one of the important inventions, I would say. Okay, and it's a device which can, if we wisely use it, I think we can do many things that we were not able to do with the desktop computers or laptop computers. So all that we need to know is that how to use it, and what is the purpose of having a mobile. If we understand the purpose for which this device is created, right, and then I think we will be able to use. And second thing is, what is that I'm trying to achieve? What is my goal? Where do I spend my time, and what is useful to me? And whether it is academic, whether it is a non-academic, whether it is personality development related one, whether it is I want to read more about current affairs, or whether I want to read some textbooks or reading materials which supports my academic. I think dividing the time is important. So this device, this platform or channel is greatly used for pushing a lot of unwanted content. So we need to be very careful and very selective and very purposive. So it's in our hand. So if we, it all depends on how we want to shape our future. How we want to, where do I want to go, and what do I need to do in order to, be there. So how does this device help? To give you an example, if we are traveling, if we want to look at the temperature in a city like this, and we are quite away, so I can always check using my mobile, search the internet and see the temperature. So I'm getting online instantly. So that's the best use, right? And if I start scrolling down a lot of unwanted stuff, then you can spend hours and hours, and at the end you are not going to get anything out of it. So there's a lot of resources that are available for the academic purpose. You can listen to the audiobooks, you can listen to the good podcast, you can view the talks and listen to the talks by different people, like TED Talks are there, and you can also listen to the lectures, NPTEL, many other prominent personalities lectures are available. So it all depends on how we want to use that device and where we want to use. And I'm sure if it is rightly used, we can do many things with this device, right? So not only just receiving the information, but also communicating the information. And a lot of applications are coming on these devices. For example, even the libraries can be accessed using the mobile applications, right? Sitting in a remote corner, you can access the library. See, for example, if you want to search whether there is a book written by this particular author, you can search the library catalog, you can search the group of library catalogs, you can go to some of the publisher sites and search. If you are doing that one, that's a useful thing. But leaving that, if we start looking at other things, then it will not help. Use it rightly, like many other things that we do it. For example, if there is a knife, what for we use? Cutting the vegetables and all that, isn't it? So we don't use it for other purposes. It's the same way. I think we need to know how to use a particular device which is offering us plenty of facilities and functionalities. That's what it is.
With this, I think I got one line called every side has everything has two sides, pros and cons.
Yeah.
So if you do it overdose, it will get overwhelming. So that's
We have
safe
to
on
make
this.
a conscious choice to see what we need and what we don't need. Using
ma'am,
the internet and mobile.
So ma'am, please tell us how can student make their library visits more enjoyable and also engaging?
I will answer the other way around, okay?
Yeah.
स्टूडेंट्स तभी एंजॉय करेंगे, तभी उसको वैल्यूएबल लगेगा या लर्निंग हो सकता है जब हम लाइब्रेरियंस या लाइब्रेरी वॉलंटियर्स लाइब्रेरीज को एक आइडिया हब बना सकते हैं, राइट? इन माय स्कूल वी यूज्ड टू कॉल इट हैज़ एन इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर. लाइब्रेरी एक इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर है. तो जब भी हम बच्चे से इंटरेक्ट करते थे, जब भी वो पढ़ते थे कुछ भी बुक एंड म्यूज़िक के बारे में इंटरेस्टेड है, तो बच्चा म्यूज़िक के बुक्स पढ़ेगा. देन सडनली उन लोगों को थोड़ी दिन ऐसा गिटार में शौक रहता है, थोड़ी दिन दे वांट टू लर्न सम म्यूजिकल नोट्स, वो सब करते हैं. सो आई ऑलवेज से कि ओके व्हाट अबाउट लाइक ओनली 7 नोट्स इन म्यूजिक, what if you had the opportunity to discover the 8th note, राइट. सो लाइक दैट उनको ट्रिगर करना रहता है, उनका क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग स्टिमुलेट करना रहता है. सो स्टूडेंट्स को हम लोग फ्रेंड्स ऑफ द लाइब्रेरी बनाओ, एम्बेसडर्स ऑफ द लाइब्रेरी बनाओ. हर क्लास में एक एम्बेसडर हो तो उसको बहुत प्राइड रहेगा, मेरे क्लास का मैं लाइब्रेरी एम्बेसडर हूँ, राइट. सो उनको एक ओनरशिप देना है, उनको एक प्राइड देना है कि आप लाइब्रेरी में आओ और यू मेक इट योर ओन, राइट. एंड उसके अलावा मुझे लगता है कि वी कैन हैव समथिंग लाइक मोबाइल फेयर्स, मोबाइल वैन्स के बारे में पता है, मोबाइल लाइब्रेरीज. व्हेन आई वाज अ चाइल्ड, पब्लिक लाइब्रेरीज एवरी टाइम यूज्ड टू हैव वैन्स विच यूज्ड टू गो टू डिफरेंट प्लेसेस ऑन अ डेजिग्नेटेड डे. उसी तरह हम लोग मोबाइल फेयर्स कर सकते हैं, स्पेशली स्कूल्स में बच्चे के पास टाइम नहीं होता है, टीचर्स का बहुत सारा असाइनमेंट्स होमवर्क रहता है. सो प्रोबेबली हम लोग एक एक सेक्शन में जाके स्टेशन हो जाएंगे, राइट, मोबाइल फेयर्स. सो दीज आर द बुक्स. अगर वर्ल्ड एनवायरनमेंट डे कर रहे हो तो हम लोगों का बुक्स हम जाके उनके क्लासरूम के सामने रखेंगे. सो प्राइमरी सेक्शन जब भी फ्री टाइम हो आके वो बुक्स देख सकते हैं. सो उस तरह का हम लोग कर सकते हैं. एग्जीबिशंस रख सकते हैं, राइट. कभी कभी टॉक शोज़ रख सकते हैं. टॉक शोज़ ऐसा नहीं कि जो भी फेमस पर्सनैलिटीज़ वही आए, क्यों ना एक बार हम लोग ह्यूमरस कैरेक्टर्स को बुला लें ना, तेनालीरामन को बुला लो, मुल्ला नसरुद्दीन को बुला लो. सो जस्ट मेक इट अ मोर हैपनिंग प्लेस, तभी जाके बच्चे हमारे पास आ सकते हैं. देयर इज अ कॉन्सेप्ट कॉल्ड एज बिब्लियोथेरेपी, है ना, हीलिंग थ्रू बुक्स. जैसे म्यूजिक हील कर सकता है, राइट, लाइट हील कर सकता है, उसी तरह बुक्स भी हील कर सकते हैं. सो प्रैक्टिस बिब्लियोथेरेपी. मैंने एक बार देखा था, एक बच्चा स्पोर्ट्स डे के दिन हार गया था, राइट. सो बहुत एग्रेसिव हो गया करके उस स्पोर्ट्स टीचर ने उसको इसमें भेज दिया लाइब्रेरी में, गो एंड सिट इन द लाइब्रेरी, राइट. यूजुअली लाइब्रेरी इज़ अ प्लेस लेकिन बहुत सारा पनिशमेंट के लिए भेजते हैं. बट वही ना, जब भी मैं बोलती हूँ लेमन्स फेंकते हैं तो लेमनेड बनाना सीखो. तो वो लोग, बच्चा आया तो ही वॉज वेरी अपसेट, ही स्टार्टेड स्क्रीमिंग लाइक आई लॉस्ट द रेस, चीटिंग हुआ मेरे साथ एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स. सो आई वॉज जस्ट क्वाइट, आई वॉज डूइंग माई लाइब्रेरी वर्क. देन आफ्टर सम टाइम व्हेन ही सैट डाउन, आई जस्ट पुश्ड अ ओरिगेमी बुक उसकी तरफ, है ना, कि वो बुक मैंने डिस्प्ले पे था उसकी तरफ डाला. तो वो 2 मिनट में देखा पीछे पेपर्स थे, तो ही रिमूव्ड एंड ही स्टार्टेड मेकिंग सम ओरिगेमी आइटम्स. 1 2 3 के बाद उसका माइंड पूरा इन्वॉल्व हो गया, कहाँ फोल्ड करना है, क्या करना है. ओके, फिगर देखता था और करता जा रहा था. विद इन 10-15 मिनट्स ही काम डाउन. हाँ, देन उसको रियलाइज़ होने लगा कि शायद मैम मेरा भी गलती था, मैं रेफरी के साथ झगड़ना नहीं था, राइट. एक सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन आ जाता है, राइट. सो लेट अस मेक दोज प्लेसेस, हमारे लाइब्रेरीज को हम लोग एक ऐसा सीरीन प्लेसेस बनाना है जहाँ पे बच्चे को अपने आप आने की मन हो, राइट. सो दैट्स व्हाट आई फील, बिकॉज लाइब्रेरीज आर विंडोज टू द वर्ल्ड, राइट. सो अगर हमें सब कुछ उनको दिखाना है तो पहले उसको वेलकमिंग करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, right. So make it as an idea hub, make it as an incubation center.
Great, man. Like my mind is like boggling, like with full of ideas. Like I want to do this. Now we're gonna implement this. She must be feeling the same. Siwani comes
True.
with so many ideas, and she was like, when she came back from IT Gandhinagar, I have so many things to do. Where I should put down, where I should not down. Sir ने इतना बताया, Kumbar sir ने ये बताया. I want to implement this side, that side. So I think this is the
That is the
reason why
beauty
she
of collaborating. That is the
Yeah.
beauty of learning from one
Now
another.
I'm getting that why she gets so much of bubble up with so many ideas. This you two are such a well equipped with what you are doing. Like we are very thrilled by the ideas. And also
Grateful to
we'll-
learn
Things from one another. True. We too are taking back so many ideas from here.
Yeah, we are. So I think we'll try to implement this sort of ideas with our students, and also we try to do as we work on voluntary basis. When people are available, we work. We run on that basis, where we also focuses on with the motto that if readers cannot reach out to libraries, books will reach out to like readers. We go with carrying our books on trunks, bags, and
That is-
far flungs in easternmost area like Anzo district, where
Such a selfless act of young children like you. You are leading the way to all of us. So I think many other libraries in Arunachal Pradesh should take a clue from you and implement it. We appreciate that.
And as you said that library is a window to world, right? I do feel books are the place where we can imagine, place where we can innovatively think about. If we read something, then we can imagine like these are the characters, these are the things. So it's very important for a community like us like most of them are first generation learner. We don't have any exposure to the books, so it's very challenging at the same time, very fruitfulling at this at what we are doing. So I think with your knowledge, with your guidance, and well wishes like you is once in the lifetime. So I think we're gonna make a best use of this.
Thank you.
So as a mother and librarian, what is your advice to the parents and teachers?
Again, first my advice would be to the parents, not exactly advice, what I have seen as a success factor. Okay, start early. Okay, जब भी हमारे बच्चे बहुत छोटे रहते हैं, 1 साल 2 साल के अंदर ही सब मदर्स करते हैं, इंडियन मदर्स ललबीज गाते हैं, राइट, हमारी जो ट्रेडिशनल फोक सॉन्ग्स हैं वो गाते हैं हम लोग. दैट इज़ वन वे ऑफ एजुकेटिंग ओनली. सो छोटेपन में ही हमारी ग्रैंड मदर्स हमें स्टोरीज बोलते हैं, राइट. हम लोग छोटा छोटा नुक्कड़ नाटक देखते रहते हैं, है ना, माइथोलॉजी का जो टेम्पल्स में जो सुनते हैं, दे आर वन और द अदर वे ऑफ बिगनिंग अर्ली. सो हम लोग बहुत जल्दी ही न्यूज़पेपर हो, कार्टन का पीछे जो इन्फॉर्मेशन लिखा है, बिलबोर्ड्स पे क्या लिखा है, साइनेजेस क्या है, दे आर ऑल द वेरी अर्ली साइंस ऑफ रीडिंग. एंड व्हेन यू डू इट विथ योर चाइल्ड, द चाइल्ड फील्स वेरी एम्पावरिंग, है ना. मैं मेरी मम्मी के साथ कर रहा हूँ, राइट. सो हम बहुत जल्दी शुरुआत करना चाहिए एंड दिन में एक टाइम फिक्स करना चाहिए, सोने से पहले या उठते ही, है ना, या खाना खाते टाइम. कोई भी बुक के बारे में, कोई भी एक सीन के बारे में, या कोई भी इंसिडेंट के बारे में, या सीजन्स के बारे में कुछ भी टॉपिक उठा के उसका रिलेटेड थोड़ा बहुत इन्फॉर्मेशन एक दूसरे से एक्सचेंज करने से बिगनिंग होगा. वहाँ से आप जब आगे छोड़ दोगे तो स्कूल टीचर्स उसको आगे लेके जाएंगे, राइट. सो surrounding yourself with people who discuss, okay, they can be stories, they can be information, they can be some facts and figures. That is the trigger for the child to discover on its own, right. एंड सेकेंड एस्पेक्ट जो मैंने बताया, टीचर्स के लिए, टीचर्स काफ़ी सारा इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं, राइट. सो उनको मैं ऐसा एडवाइस करूँगी, डोंट थिंक ओनली अबाउट हैमरिंग, नो, कि इनको ये पढ़ना आना चाहिए, इनको इतना इन्फॉर्मेशन ओरली बोलना आना चाहिए. दैट इज़ टू बुकिश, बहुत ही वो एकेडमिक पर्सपेक्टिव हो जाता है. Think about the overall development of that child, right. So not only reading and writing but speaking and listening, okay. So all sense organs हमारा learning का tools है या avenues है. So ये 5 organs को as a teacher मैं कैसे trigger कर सकती हूँ, कैसे उनको मैं rejuvenate कर सकती हूँ, जो बच्चे वहाँ से पिकअप करें और लर्निंग प्रोसेस होता रहे, राइट. कोलैबोरेट विद टीचर्स, यू नो, जितना हो सके टीचर्स और लाइब्रेरियंस के साथ कोलैबोरेट करो, क्लासरूम लाइब्रेरी सेटअप करो, इससे भी बहुत फ़र्क पड़ता है, राइट. सो पेरेंट्स आर द फर्स्ट गुरुज, वी ऑलवेज से. उसके बाद पेरेंट्स जितना भी एफर्ट्स, ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स, सिबलिंग्स, सोसाइटी, सब लोग मिल के ये लर्निंग प्रोसेस दैट हैपन्स थ्रू बुक्स एंड लाइब्रेरीज, वहाँ से जर्नी शुरू होके टीचर्स को हम बैटन हैंड ओवर करते हैं, टीचर्स वहाँ से टेक ओवर करते हैं, राइट.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You are such an good ideas. I think we should make a habit of discussing during dinners why this Mishmi language, why this is called this way.
Yes.
It's just before you asked me while entering this radio station that what is this symbol? I didn't know. I was like, why we don't ask this sort of questions?
Yeah.
Why we don't have that sort of like engaging with parents? We never ask. So I think we'll try to involve our even siblings if we are not parents yet, but we'll try to involve our siblings in this way.
हाँ, क्योंकि आप लोगों का जो अरुणाचल प्रदेश का एक जो यूनिक कल्चर है, बिकॉज यू हैव मोर देन 100 ट्राइब्स, हर ट्राइब का अपना अपना एक यूनिक कस्टम्स है, राइट, या ऑब्जर्वेशंस है, फेस्टिवल्स है, या ट्रेडिशंस है, रिचुअल्स है. ये सब के बारे में आप बम्बूसा लाइब्रेरी में एक छोटा सा डायोरामास जैसे बना सकते हो. यू माइट हैव हर्ड अबाउट डायोरामास, दे आर समथिंग लाइक मॉडल्स. छोटा सा एक मॉडल बना सकते हो, वेदर इट इज़ रिगार्डिंग फार्मिंग, वेदर इट इज़ रिगार्डिंग सीजन्स, वेदर इट इज़ रिगार्डिंग फेस्टिवल्स. वो सब छोटा छोटा इन्फॉर्मेशन, छोटा सा 1 पेज जितना राइटअप्स डाल सकते हैं ना, पोस्टर्स क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, पोस्ट कार्ड्स बना सकते हैं हैंडमेड. तो ये क्या है, जो भी आपके यहाँ विजिटर्स आते हैं उनको गिफ्ट्स की तरह सर्व हो जाएगा. एंड जो भी स्टूडेंट्स वो बुक्स पढ़ के या वो इन्फॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट करके जो शेयर करते हैं, वो उनको कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाता है और प्राइड भी आता है, मैं एक ट्राइब को बिलोंग करता हूँ एंड आई वॉज द वन हु प्रमोटेड दिस टू द वर्ल्ड, राइट.
This is an amazing idea, ma'am.
Yeah.
We are going to definitely do it.
थैंक यू.
My question to sir, sir, what is your advice to students to improve their learning?
Okay, so I think it is important for all of us to be a well-informed citizen of the country. It's not just, learning for passing the examination, learning for getting the employment, right? That's one phase, okay? But I think overall being informed citizen of the country makes a lot of difference. So then we start appreciating everything that we do, which others do in the country, and whatever government does, whatever different institutions does, we start appreciating that. So here, what the learning is an important part of our day-to-day life, and the learning begins from home, right? With parents, with friends, with teachers, right? Then schools, colleges, libraries, and every other similar institutions, like you have museums, you have gardens, you have a zoo, you have a different educational units set up within the city and in the state and in the country and different parts of the world. So being curious to know and learn from all of that is one thing, okay? And learning for equipping yourself for the future is another thing. That you are going to a school, and what is the syllabus, what is the teacher teaching you today, and what more can you gain, did you understand, and what is that is available in the textbook, what more can I read and supplement that information. So that is something that through attending, being a part of the class, attend to a student and participate to a student in a class is something that is important for everybody, not just going and listening, but I think being an active listener is important, being a participative student is important. So that's where the learning happens, right? So learning not only from all of these formal sources, but also you learn from visiting places, interacting with the friends, right? Learning from seeing the world around you, or environment around you, whether you are in a city or a town or a small village or whatever it is. You just nature, everything that you see around teaches you something. Only thing that is required is a close observation. There are some things that we need to adopt or make a part of our integral part of our day-to-day life. So one is that be focused, okay, on what you want to learn and what it requires to achieve whatever you want to do. And second is be an open mind. Have an open mind to learn from different sources. Don't close okay, I will read only this, I will not read this. You can read certain negative things also, but then what is the positive aspect of it. So you should not be following only one particular author. You can also read other, okay. So you get to know different things, right? So being focused is one thing, and having an open mind to learn from any sources, from anyone, is important. And also be curious. That's important. Keep asking the questions, and also have the habit of exploring. Don't be hesitant. Keep exploring different things, right? Whether it is a study, whether it is softwares, whether it is different tools, different devices, or visiting the places. So everything, I think we need to have this as a kind of a skill. Okay, so that's something that is important. And above all, we need to make a continuous effort. Learning cannot happen without making an effort. So we need to make an effort to learn every day. So day should not, at the end of the day, you should ask this question: what new things did I learn today? What did I add to my knowledge base? What did I add to my skill base? So learning is a continuous process. And there the libraries play a meaningful this one, friends, right? Kind of a friends play a meaningful role. Teachers play a meaningful role, and I think we need to open up ourselves and yeah, be a learner and lifelong learner. And I think it's just that we need to be conscious and we need to make an effort towards learning, and that is what will help us to equip ourselves for the future. Nobody else will, prepare you. I think you yourself will have to commit your time and effort to continuously make an effort to learn new things, right? Whatever it is, right? So this is meant for them, this is not for me, this is only for them. No, I think no amount of knowledge will go waste, right? I think it's important to make learning as an integral part of our day-to-day life. Yeah.
Thank you to our wonderful librarians for sharing their hard work and passion with us today. You help keep knowledge alive and make learning accessible to everyone. And to our listeners, keep tuning into All India Radio Tejo. Until next time, this is your host Siwani Pul.
पुस्तकालय और शिक्षा के माध्यम में छात्रों की सहायता करना पर मुख्य लाइब्रेरियन IIT गांधीनगर मिस्टर TS कुंबर और गुजरात के केंद्रीय विश्वविद्यालय के पूर्व प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर रश्मि टी कुंबर जी के साथ एक भेंटवार्ता, और इस कार्यक्रम की संचालिका रही बम्बूसा लाइब्रेरी तेजू से मिस शिवानी पुल एवं मिस बेथम मराई। श्रोता, इसी के साथ ही युवा वाणी कार्यक्रम यही समाप्त होता है। ये आकाशवाणी का तेजू केंद्र है।